Hi everybody. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the resources that are available to you as you finish up your summary response draft. So you should have feedback on your draft, some comments included there, and for a couple of you, maybe some attachments with things to look at as examples. And I just wanted to reiterate where you can find some things that I think will be helpful. So the Unit 3 summary response checklist, if you haven't filled that out yet, or even if you did fill it out for your draft, I recommend you double checking it and clicking it off and filling it out for your final paper because it's going to help you ensure that you have all the pieces that you need in your actual paper. So I'll give you an example based on some of the things I'm seeing as I begin to look through or as I began to look through the drafts and sort of see things that I want to make sure that you include that we're missing. Particularly with the summary. So make sure that your summary identifies the author, title, source, and date of the article, and make sure that your summary is a clear paragraph on its own. So if it's hard to tell, like, did you include the summary up here in the introduction? Is this the summary down here? One way to very clearly indicate that you have started your summary is to include the author, the title, the source, and the date of the article in the first sentence of your summary, which should be the second paragraph of your paper. So the opening introduction, like I feel like we've talked about a little bit before, the opening paragraph, that introduction, should start with a hook to get people interested. And I did include some advice on hooks and conclusions in the last announcement. So you do want to include a hook, some kind of fact that's interesting, or hypothetical scenario, or maybe hypothetical question to draw the reader in. And then after that, you want a sentence that bridges your hook and your thesis statement. So what I recommend is including a sentence that just introduces the article very briefly, maybe just the title, and explains how you're moving from what you talked about in your hook into the thesis statement because you introduce the idea of the article. Your thesis statement should include the article title. So make sure that you are following the advice in the video that I created last time as well. That's in the announcement from last time, and I sent it out in an email because I think there's some helpful things in there. When you get to the summary itself, it is important that it is the second paragraph and that it identifies the author, the title, the source, and the date of the article. So the information about Cadaroos is school too shallow, and that you're making sure that it doesn't express personal opinion, that it doesn't include minor details, that it doesn't really rely on direct quotes, that it includes accurate paraphrases, because those are really important parts of the summary. And going through and doing this checklist, I think, is going to help you, including with, your thesis statement. There's a couple tips on writing thesis statements there. So I highly recommend, if you haven't done it, or even if you have, using this checklist again to make sure that you have everything you need. This is based off of the rubric. So I also would recommend checking out the rubric. That's a helpful thing too. The What is a Summary and Response essay article contains a sample paper that I'm just going to pull up. And the reason is because I took it to heart as you all were writing about not having enough critical thinking instruction and feeling like there was a lot of rote memorization. So I do want y'all, even in this assignment, in the process of revision, to be working on your critical thinking. And one of the things that a critical thinker can do is work on developing their inner critical thinking voice. And part of that voice is that little thing inside your head that goes, does this look exactly like it should look? What should I do here? Should there be an extra space here? Did I indent this right? Questions like that are things that should just start occurring to you as you begin this revision process. So what I recommend is to check yourself against an existing paper. If you look at this example down here about explore the essay, you can see this sample paper will give you something to follow. Like, okay, does my title page actually look like this? Do I have the extra space here? Is it a couple spaces down from the top? Do I have page numbers? Do I have the title again? It's up to you if you want to include these headings, but you are more than welcome to do so. If you want to include a part that says summary, go for it. And you can see right here the information that we need. This should technically be indented, but sometimes that happens. This is a student paper, so it's not entirely perfect, but it is a good example. This is, I would say, like an A-level paper. So as you look through here and you see these things, ask yourself, does my paper look like this? Have I underlined the word references when I didn't need to? Um, and if you aren't sure, if you're like, oh, did this person make a mistake here and they should have indented, then go and look at another sample. Google samples. If there's a piece of feedback that you're not sure exactly what it means, like you don't know why I say something like title capitalization in the comments, Google that to make sure that you're understanding what you should be doing. Because I do want y'all to practice the act of critical thinking as you work on revising. So that's one reason that I've listed these resources here, because I think if you truly use these resources as models and places you can look for when you have questions about whether something should be one way or another, I think that that can be really helpful for creating a strong final draft. Same, here's the formatting template if you want to see, again, just what a title page should look like. Another thing that I included, and I think in a lot of comments, I just said use the one in the announcements. I posted it here again. This is the APA reference for Is School Too Shallow? So I'm just including that here because this is what I would like you to use. I think in the last video, I kind of went through how I got that and why I'd like you to use it. And I shared it in that announcement and I'm sharing it here. Remember that another thing I said in the announcement is that the sources should be in alphabetical order. So Kataru should come before, if your outside source is written by somebody named Terrence, their last name's Terrence, then Kataru should come first. If your outside source is written by somebody named Abel, then that source should come first because they should really be in order alphabetically by the author's last name as they are here. I included CiteFast here. If you click on it, it'll take you here and you can create the the source for your article that you found on the database. If you didn't write that in the database exploration, if you didn't create it in the database exploration worksheet and you need to create it again, you can come here, make sure it's on APA 7, choose journal, choose manual, and then follow the instructions. Follow all of the instructions. Check out the little boxes to make sure yours looks as good as it possibly can, because that's the kind of thing you're going to be dealing with. And this is, again, something I would like you to work on practicing, because in the future, your teachers in other classes aren't going to give you necessarily a breakdown of APA instruction. They're going to say, we're expecting APA, and they're going to want you to do it. So that's one reason I really want you to work on stepping up your APA game and making sure your title page is perfect, that your paper starts, the body of your paper starts with your title, that your references are in order, that you're following things like CiteFast to get your references. Those things are important in constructing a document, and in appealing to ethos, making your assignments look really good. So those are basically the resources that I included that I would like you to pay attention to. And I'm going to add another one. I am going to add well, I'm just going to add it now because I'm making this video. So I'm going to add this video. And at the end of this video, I'm going to ask you to rewatch the video I included in the announcement last week that explains some things that you want to keep in mind as you're creating a draft. That was for creating the first draft, but a lot of the information applies as you edit for the second draft, especially if there were things that you missed in creating the draft. So yeah, I want you to use these resources to make a strong response paper. Another general piece of advice, which I mentioned in the video before, is that you should be responding to the article, Is School Too Shallow? Your thesis statement should reflect that. You are explaining if you agree or disagree with the author.